Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Route X Lap Attack, and as you can see, I have made up my mind on what I'm going to use. Instead of the Super Bee, I'm going to use the Mini Cooper, which is not supposed to be like that. There we go, that's better. Recently, the game's having a tough time loading the custom liveries I've made for my cars. I do not know why, but I'm just glad that everything is the way it's supposed to be. Now, when I was testing out the 1989 Miata, I was disappointed with how it ended up in last place, so I'm testing out the Mini Cooper on purpose to get the Miata out of last. Now, I do like these cars. I like the Mini Coopers as well, but I cannot have the Miata in last place. This has to be done. It just has to be done. The top speed for this thing, I think, is about 120. The transmission is set to 140, but I don't think you can go faster than 120. I could be wrong. I only bought this car so I could have fun on two wheels. You know, it's a lot of fun to get this thing up on its side. Although it can be a bit crazy. There were a few times when I was driving this car yesterday when I got it on two wheels on one of the Tokyo Expressway tracks, and it ended up falling onto its side. One time I even got this thing on the roof. I did the same thing with a Volkswagen bus. That was a lot of fun. If you check out the pictures I have, the replay pictures, I took a picture of a bus on the Kyoto driveway, and then it's actually titled "Ah," because that was my reaction when I was driving that thing. I wasn't expecting it to flip over like that. I was like, "Ah!" However, this is much easier to get on two wheels because it's small and very light. It's like I stated with the 2015 Miata when I was testing that out earlier. You cannot decrease the weight on this thing. I mean, you can, but when you try to buy upgrades, it won't let you. It'll only make the car heavier. So we're close to 140. The top speed is actually 136. I really wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the sky. Open your eyes, look up to the sky and see. I'm just a poor boy. I need no sympathy. And I actually heard that song on the radio last night, believe it or not. For those of you that don't know, that was Bohemian Rhapsody, or a small portion of it anyway, by Queen. I thought that song was overrated at first. I listened to it a lot on my iPod when I was in high school, but by the time I got towards my senior year, I thought to myself, you know what? This song is just popping up everywhere. I'm getting tired of it. But then, a few years later, when I started going on YouTube, I saw that someone did a Thomas the Tank Engine version of Bohemian Rhapsody. It was by Thomas 1, Edward 2, Henry 3, and boy is it funny. There are two different variations now. I like the original one more because in the middle of the song, Alec Baldwin's like, "Oh, pa! You know what? Fuck this," and then it just skips to the guitar solo. The new version is really nice. I do like the lower pitch of the music, especially with some of the guitar solos in there. I also like the part where you have Bill and Ben go like, "I'll go," and then George Carlin shouts, "Magnifico!" I do apologize for any of you viewers that are not Thomas the Tank Engine fans, but I just had to announce that because I am one of millions of YouTubers that still like that show. In fact, I'm actually watching some of the new seasons from Big World Big Adventures. There's only two so far. There's season 22 and 23. But the best episode I've seen from 23 is the other big engine, where Thomas goes to Brazil and he meets Gustavo. He's my favorite character now. Gustavo's just a lot of fun. Thomas, you silly little engine. It's not my fault. I didn't meet... What railway has no coal hopper and no water tank? An electric railway. Oh. That part's just a lot of fun to watch. Like, seeing Gustavo in general is fun. I do not know why I'm talking about Thomas now. I think it's because Thomas the Tank Engine is British, just like this classic Mini I'm driving. I might also buy a Fiat 500 and paint it yellow, like the one in Castle of Cagliostro, because I just finished watching that movie as well a few months ago, and now I really like the Lupin the Third franchise. I don't usually watch anime, but Lupin the Third is a lot of fun. I do recommend watching that if you have the chance. At 137 miles an hour, we already passed the 4.5 minute mark. I already knew we weren't going to beat the Hurricane. I mean, it's kind of common sense. A car that only does 140 or 137 miles an hour cannot beat a lap time set by a car that does 250. But if you're ever on those dirt tracks, this Mini is a lot of fun. You just hit the handbrake, go spinning around those curves, and then you're good to go. This is one of the best cars to control, one of the easiest cars to control on dirt. That's why it won so many races back then. Oh look, an airplane is landing. I don't think I've seen that before. Not in this game, anyway. I was actually just heading home from Hershey Park. I just got back from there, and my friend decided to stop at this restaurant in a place called Allentown, and I actually did see an airport get pretty close to the road, or, I'm sorry, an airplane get close to the road as he was trying to land at the airport. I actually thought he was going to land on top of us and cause an explosion. And if that happened, I definitely wouldn't be here right now talking to you about all the random information. Ooh, tunnel. So the Miata set a lap time of 6 minutes and 57 seconds with a top speed of 162 miles an hour. At 137 miles, I think we're going to be just under 8 minutes. We're either going to be somewhere between 7:50 and 8:45. That's my guess. I can't be exact for sure because I'm not much of an expert at telling how long it's going to take from a car to get from point A to point B. I mean, in real life, it all really depends on certain things like traffic and road surfaces and construction. And the top speed, of course. Like, you're always changing the speed of your car due to the speed limit that you have to follow. And all the other things I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it's definitely going to take more than 8 minutes. But this is still a lot of fun to drive, especially if you're on one of those other tracks where you have more bumps and curves where you can easily get on two wheels. On turns like this, you really don't have to turn the steering wheel that much because the elevation basically does the turning for you. Now, I normally don't tell my viewers to do this, but I want you guys to comment below. What do you like better, the original Mini or the new ones? Well, there's a lot of new ones now since BMW took over the franchise, or not the franchise, the brand, in 2002, I think it was, or late 90s. I can't really remember. And if you do like the new Mini Coopers more, which one do you like better? The ones from the early 2000s or the brand new ones that they're doing right now? $8.14. Well, that definitely does the Miata justice, since it's no longer in last place. Okay, I'm definitely going to do the Super B in the next episode. Until then, have a good weekend, and I will see you later.